Hello, here we are. My name is Kimberly Willison, and I'm a senior recreation therapist with the Saskatchewan Health Authority. And I am here with Joyce Tremmel, and we are going to talk a little bit about the Canadian Trail. Joyce has had a little bit of experience with the Canadian Trail, and she's going to share some of our experience and some of her knowledge about the trail. So, Joyce, when did your interest in the Trans-Canada Trail begin?
Well, first of all, Kimberly, I must say that it used to be called the Trans-Canada Trail, and it's been since renamed as the Great Trail. And the Great Trail name really suits it because it is an awesome, great trail, one of the largest trails, the longest trails in the world for a recreational trail. Anyway, my interest in the trail has been there ever since I heard of the trail. And I'm not remembering exactly when I heard about the trail, but I'm told that the trail, the idea of creating this trail actually occurred in 1992 when Canada was celebrating its 125th birthday. And the idea at that time was to create a trail that would link Canadians from coast to coast to coast. So from the east to west and to the north, Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans. So my interest was always there. And everybody that knows me knows that I love to walk. And this trail just kind of embodied all my passions, or a lot of my passions. My passion for walking and hiking and cycling, my passion for Canada, and my passion for experiences in nature outdoors. So it just fit for me.
Nice, that sounds
good. I encountered this book, on the theme of walking, I encountered this book called Born to Walk. And I just loved it. And there was a quote from the book that said, if you want to travel, just stand up and walk. And that kind of fit for me. So that's, the beginning of my interest in the trail. And then in the beginning, with this trail as a fundraiser, they used to sell virtual meters of the trail, and you could purchase these meters. And then the recipient of the meter would get their name engraved on the pavilion wall. Well, I purchased many of these meters for grandkids and nieces and nephews and friends, and for birthday presents and memorial gifts and whatever. And unfortunately, though, they terminated this fundraiser project before I could get all my grandkids' names on the pavilion. But when I retired, I was gifted with a meter of the trail, and so I was quite delighted about that. And when they constructed the trail, they built these pavilions at various centers along the trail. And the one in Saskatoon is stationed in it sits in the Gabriel Dumont Park section of the trail. So it's kind of interesting to go down there and view the various names on the wall.
Oh, that is neat. I'll have to go take a look at that. Why don't you talk a little bit about the history of the trail and how the history is developed over the years?
Well, I'm not very familiar with the history. I know a bit of it. And, like I said, the idea started in 1992. And the goal at that time was to complete this trail, to completely link the trail up in time for Canada's 150th birthday, July 1st, 2017. And of course, I really got caught up in that dream. And so, I was, besides looking at helping to fund this trail, I became involved. I happened to meet up with Kathy Watts when she was leading a Jane walk on the trail way back in 2013. And she was playing a leadership role in developing the trail, helping to develop the trail through the parkland area of the province. And feeling pretty discouraged. I mean, she's not easily discouraged, but she was working very hard, and they had numerous challenges in trying to get this trail all put together. The plan was to use existing trails in various places and then link them up, which was really quite a creative idea. And so in Saskatoon, for instance, the Meewasin Trail doubles as the Great Trail. And she was leading then this Jane Walk on the Trail and sharing some of the challenges in working with they had to work with all levels of government, the federal government, provincial government, municipal governments, and local trail organizations, you name it. And not only that, but numerous volunteers and numerous donors. So you can imagine how complex it was. And she was discouraged about whether they'd be able to get this trail finished by July 1st, 2017. Anyway, I thought, no, this dream has to happen. I mean, this goal has to happen. And I suggested to her, I said, well, what about sacralizing this trail, organizing pilgrimages on the trail? You know, I had just come back from hiking the Camino in Spain, which is an ancient pilgrimage route that's very popular in the past number of years. And I thought this is the French route of the Camino was 800 kilometers, and groups of people hike it all the time. And I thought, what about organizing pilgrimages on the trail, kind of like the ways made by walking? Mm-hmm. Anyway, she picked up on this idea very quickly. And lo and behold, you know, she organizes a pilgrimage on the trail. I mean, the section between Saskatoon and Wanuskewin was not completed. The section from the South Bridge to Chief Whitecat Park had not been completed. But she organized this pilgrimage for 6 of us, and we did our little thing. And anyway, it was just quite enthralling. And I thought, oh, why can't this great trail be a pilgrimage route, you know, with the same kind of passion and popularity that exists in Spain with the Camino? Mm-hmm. So anyway, that was quite exciting. And what I do know about the trail is that, you know, it was completed, and it was complete in time for Canada's 150th birthday. Parts of the trail are waterways, and parts of the trail are on grid roads, but they made a point of not having any of the trail on highways. So, you know, and it's an ongoing project that needs to continue to be developed and maintained. And what's interesting about it is that it's owned and maintained by the local people. So the trail is not taken over by the organization.
Wow, isn't that interesting? Wow, you've had so many experiences with the trail and other trails. Why is the Great Canadian Trail so important to you?
Well, it's because of the fact that it's a local, you know, I have this passion for Canada and appreciating, you know, I think we're all very blessed to live in Canada. And, you know, these days in particular with the COVID crisis where international travel is almost non-existent, it's perfect to take time to explore our own country and the beauty and blessings that we all enjoy with this country. So this trail connects, you know, apparently, well, it reaches 24,000 kilometers in length, and wow. Connects, I guess, at least 1,000 communities. So it's quite incredible to contemplate.
Yeah, it really is the Great Trail then, isn't it?
Yes, that name really suits it.
Yeah. So you have been part of the Globe Walk program for a few years now. How long have you been part of the Globe Walk, both as a participant and now as a committee member?
Well, we're planning now for our 8th annual Globe Walk. It's hard to believe it's been 8 years, but I've been involved since its beginning. I saw this little ad in the paper from SCOA, the Saskatchewan Council on Aging, which, who is the organizer and the producer of this project. And I saw this tiny little ad in the paper calling for people to volunteer to be team captains, to organize a team and sign up. And for this Globe Walk, well, as soon as I see the word walk, it grabs my attention. I thought, what a fabulous idea. I had just retired, and since I love exercising outdoors, or exercising period, I thought, well, gee, this would be fun to do, to promote. I love promoting physical fitness with people anyway. And I really bought into the goals of promoting, seniors or assisting seniors to be active physically and socially engaged during the winter months. So it was a perfect fit for me. So I've been a team captain for the 8 years, and only involved with the committee and the planning committee for the past 2 years. But we call our team the Prairie Peace Pilgrims, and just like the idea of being a pilgrim.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Why do you think this is a good project for the Globe Walk? We've moved to virtual because of COVID. Tell me why you think this will work for the Globe Walk, doing a virtual Great Canadian Trail walk.
Well, I think it's a perfect fit, especially for these days with our COVID crisis. I've had this long-standing dream of hiking the trail, walking the trail from coast to coast. Well, like Connie Calder said when she did a concert in town, she said, there comes a time when you have to give up these dreams, like winning an Olympic medal. I thought, yeah, I have to give up this goal. But anyway, I was reading also in my research on the internet with the Great Trail. Apparently, if one is to walk across the trail from St. John's, Newfoundland to Victoria, BC, it would take 2 years, 2 years, 2 months and a week, going at a pace of 30 kilometers a day. Well, apparently there have been some people that have done that, but that's for younger people. But I can do this virtually, hey? So, and senior citizens can all do it virtually. And what's neat about it is that, that's what's neat about the Globe Walk anyway, is that no matter what our mobility issues are, we can all participate because the physical activity will count, with our formula of 1,300 equal 1 mile, and the time of 30 minutes equals 2 kilometers. So, we've got a perfect fit with the Globe Walk and the Trans-Canada Trail. And then, the whole idea of pilgrimage, I still have this idea of doing pilgrimages, and now the Trans-Canada Trail organization has a new app that they have out. They don't have maps as such with details from place to place. And like they said, with such a massive trail formation, it would take piles of booklets and maps and whatnot, and it would be kind of impossible to carry these with you on a hike. But this app apparently is very simple, and like they said, when you go out on the trail for a hike, you want to leave your you don't want to be connected with your electronics and a slave to your electronics. So they made it very simple, and it doesn't have, you know, any annoying and distracting beeps and whatnot. And you can sign up for this app free of charge and take it on a little section of the trail and test it out. But it makes it, you know, it's kind of a neat feature. But anyway, I've had this long-standing desire to walk this trail, and I thought, well, maybe I could cycle it with an electric bike or something. But the main interest is doing a pilgrimage, and I thought, you know, when Canada turned 150, I was so keen on developing a pilgrimage. When I went to the opening ceremony, there was 2 opening ceremonies that I attended. One was for the trail opening from the north end of Saskatoon to Wanuskewin, and the other from the South Bridge to Chief Whitecat Park. And when I was at the Wanuskewin opening, I was just so, well, both times I was just really delighted with the speeches that were given by the dignitaries. And there was one woman from Wanuskewin that talked about the trail representing shared footprints. And I thought, shared footprints, that's so lovely. And I thought, I want to develop a pilgrimage called Shared Footprints, where people would walk together, and the goal would be to envision a new Canada and look at how we could promote, and, you know, what part we could all play in reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. And I got really quite excited about that, and I, you know, somehow I'll find a way to, you know, continue this. But I mean, I thought, who knows, maybe there's a lot of people with the Globe Walk that might decide to join or walk the trail virtually with the notion of envisioning a new Canada and promoting reconciliation. And so much of it starts with our own inner journey anyway, and we could just you know, use this Globe Walk for that purpose. I thought, who knows, and then we could participate not only in the great trail, but also in the great healing of Canada, which would be quite phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Joyce, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your passion for the Great Canadian Trail. It has been just lovely hearing all your words, and I feel completely inspired to go out and try to find some of the great trail in my area and in other areas of Canada to try to walk. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.